what we were talking about on today's edition.
It's fucking cold. Hi, welcome to The Hinge. We haven't done one in fucking ages. It's really, really cold in here. We've been talking about British gas and other such terrible things. We're skint. We've sold everything on the table just to fucking pay.
Octopus
and it's still
just banged down the door.
Yeah,
took the
Octopus
fucking,
Energy.
Took the fucking
£8.44 British gas. Twats. We'll talk about Last of Us last. Even though it's probably going to be on the thumbnails, so you're going to have to wait a little bit.
Of us.
Yes. Everything Everywhere All at Once Everything.
I've seen too much. You know what that means.
I watched that finally.
Yeah,
It's
fucking
fucking amazing.
It's amazing.
I didn't realise till halfway through that the husband was short round.
Short round. And he won the fucking Oscar for it. No,
Well,
he won the Golden Globe for it, though.
I literally watched it and then like 2 days later it was
You
like,
won it.
here's all the nominations because it's got the most
yeah.
nominations.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm quite a tastemaker because I texted you people
Oh,
to
yeah,
watch this
you're
film,
the
man.
taster.
And then it's like, shit, that word gets around.
Yeah, you got it. But no, I really, really fucking love this film, and I love how small the budget was for it as well.
It's like
I don't know if you saw
25
that.
million,
Yeah,
which is fuck all.
But also, it was like 5 special effects artists that actually did
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the special effects in it. Because the special effects are so out of this world, it doesn't matter that it looks cheesy or looks weird because it's so out of this world and bizarre.
The
I fucking love it.
costumes was so good, especially the I forgot everyone's name in the film, but the daughter when she obviously appears as the
she's amazing.
yeah,
cool.
she's really good. But just every time she appeared, she'd have some cool costume on. Like
With,
even,
like,
even
really
the costumes
weird
must have been
things.
like millions. Like thinking about, obviously they've just been clever.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, didn't you know she was in it?
No,
like until I started watching it.
so good. But the thing that I did you cry?
I did get a bit. I didn't
I
cry,
cried.
but I was
Just
pretty
that rock bit at the
teary.
end,
The
I was
rock
a bit
bit.
like,
There was a few
ooh.
bits. Where I was like, oh,
But it was
that's
just
quite
like, just
sad.
be a nice person. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I just like it when the rocks are moving. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
It's moving around.
the best. Sorry, this is going to contain spoilers.
Sorry,
But
spoilers.
the best thing is the Ratatouille bit.
The Ratatouille-
The
the
Ratatouille bit.
watching
I might
Rat-
actually go and overwatch. No, because
Yeah.
I watched it so recently.
Okay.
Oh, that's horrible. I hate that. Grannies.
Speaking of this conversation we've just cut out, do you know how old the granddad is in it? He's 93 in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I don't really remember the granddad.
He's
He's in
in-
the whole thing, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's
Sort of
he's
with
in
them.
Big Trouble in Little China, in Little Tokyo.
Oh, shit! Yeah,
he's in
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Wayne's
Yeah.
World, Blade Runner.
He's also a very prolific. He's a voice actor as well.
Yeah,
He's a lot of voice
everything.
acting.
I can't remember his name, but I was like, fucking like 93. But no, what a fucking great movie. Just so many little clever ideas just thrown at you constantly. But
yeah.
it was, even though it was like crazy, it was quite easy to follow.
Yes.
And the idea of just doing something stupid and random to like try and get your powers, like it got a bit funny. I was like,
Transport you to another universe
do you
or whatever.
lose something? I was like, oh, did they lose their powers like when the butt plugs come out?
I don't know.
or-
Maybe other people do, but the main girl, her daughter doesn't.
And she
Maybe.
and
she keeps all of her powers.
she keeps just
whatever.
gaining them.
Yeah,
like they
but
stack on top of
maybe-
each other, but other people
But
maybe.
maybe Ming, is it Ming now? No,
I can't think.
I can't remember. Anyway,
That's
but
the right
maybe
one,
she
no.
just jumps onto it. But yeah,
But you know, like the henchmen people, because I liked how it was the same kind of 10 actors just kept appearing as
yes.
like the henchmen, and they'd get like killed, but then they'd be back a bit later. Like
you're just making me want to watch it again.
it was
It's
really
very good.
really good and just sweet, and just all the camera work. It was just such a good, clever
amazing
movie,
film.
and every little scene and shot was just great. It all worked.
Do you know what I
really,
enjoyed?
really well.
Which I watched yesterday,
Go on.
last night. The Fugitive.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched
what a
it,
fucking
yeah.
good film! Have you not seen it before?
Yeah, no, I can't believe. I think everything in that film, I was like,
even The Simpsons as a
I've
parody.
seen this, but it was really good. I really
It's
enjoyed it.
such a good film. It's so simple.
Johnny Jones is so funny in it as well.
Yeah.
Like I really love his sort of camaraderie with all those guys. It's quite an odd one to sort of like be rooting for one person, but yet also be rooting for the person kind of
trying to catch him the whole time.
Yeah, like it's kind of like in the Heat. You kind of one or the other. If you know what I mean? Like one person trying to catch the other person, but they're both as big as each other. But no, I really liked it. I thought it was very, very, very
It's
cool.
just a cool, clever film. Everything's just, there's nothing stupid in it. It's like all quite.
No, but yeah, there is some stupid stuff because he's so stupid. But I really liked it. It was dead good.
Have you seen US Marshals? So that's,
No,
the
that's
sequel.
the sequel with
So it's
him
got Tommy Lee
being
Jones
him,
and it's
yeah.
Wesley Snipes.
What do you intend to do?
Catch him.
Oh no, I've not
the
seen
guy,
it.
and
But I
Rob-
mean,
Robert
I
Downey
would watch
Jr.
it because I liked him in it. So
Yeah.
much.
It's not as good, but Robert Downey Jr. in it. He's a bit like, seems like he doesn't want to be there. But no, Fugitive, man, I can't fault that movie. Just
No,
what a great movie.
really
I just
good.
thought he should. Why is he in the hospital? Someone's going to see him, but I suppose it's the past. So it's not like his picture's being thrown on everywhere. And he had the beard.
Yeah, and also, but then the picture is being thrown everywhere because after the police, after he escapes, the police are fucking faxing it over there.
Yeah, but he's got a
faxing
beard,
it,
right?
and
Because he
then-
shaves his beard.
Yeah, but still, you fucking notice, especially if you're like, "Hey Doc, have you seen this man? Oh, what does he look like? He's 6'2" and has a thingy
Yeah.
like that. Looks like you, but with a
Yeah.
beard." And then also Harrison
Oh,
Ford
yeah.
goes, "Oh, sit every day in the mirror." except for the beard, of course.
Yeah.
Because everyone has those naturally and can't shave them off. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Harrison Ford?
I know, but obviously we know Harrison Ford. If you try to describe Harrison Ford as just like a normal human, you're like, he's like quite a good-looking guy.
Yeah,
he's just like, I'd be like, he's just like a.
But why would you go
face
the
like
same? But without the beard?
I'd struggle to describe him to someone who didn't know who Harrison Ford was without comparing him to Harrison Ford.
Long face. I think he's got a long face. He's got like this part's quite long. Like Adam Driver.
He's got like a normal. I can't.
I think I'm picturing him on the holiday special.
Oh yeah.
He's got a real long face there. They did it proper dirty. No, I'm saying the
animated part, because Harrison Ford is in the holiday special.
No, he is in it for about 5. No, at the end. Do you remember that man's like, he fakes that stormtrooper out, and the stormtrooper jumps off the thing.
Yeah. Kills that man on Christmas.
A life day. I finished off House of the Dragon. I did the whole thing.
Any of it?
I did it all in a week.
I will watch it. I've got your Sky thing.
It's fucking great.
Watch
it. It's really fucking good. I was going into it being a bit like, everyone fucking goes on about how much they hated Game of Thrones and the ending of Game of Thrones.
It's only last 2
seasons. I was always a bit like, oh, they're too harsh. It's not that bad. But then when this came out, I was a bit like, I can't be arsed getting back into that world again. Give me a bit of time. And Rings of Power was on, and I was like, I don't want to do the same two at the same time. Oh my god, this was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. I will watch it.
Because obviously,
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but really watch it. There's a few things that happen in it. I don't know if how aware are you of it? Do you know that there's time jumps?
Well, I was going to say no. I didn't know there's time jumps, and also I was just suddenly thinking, well, what's it based off? Obviously, it's George R. R. Martin.
So instead of it being based off one singular character or one singular family, like as in
sorry, I don't mean that. I mean like as in what. Is it a book?
Yeah, it's a book. It's a book called Fire and Blood.
Okay, so it's just.
So it was like kind of The Hobbit, but a bit more like The Silmarillion because it's not got any of the characters from before. Yeah. But it's set by about 172 years. About 172 years. It is set 172 years before Daenerys Targaryen was born. So basically, you get. But what it's doing is really smart because it's doing it through. We've seen like 3 generations in this first season. And it's amazing. So like you sort of like there's characters that are kids, and then by the end of it, they're sort of like grown adults, and you're sort of seeing it. And I think they're going to do it over like a huge lineage of years and years, kind of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure sort of thing. So I'm really, really looking forward to the next season where it's completely new cast and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
No, not going to be completely new cast, but it all moves on, and they rehire people and stuff like that. And they de-age people and they age people, and it just is really good because it's so epic and it's sprawling and it feels rushed, but because it's such a huge epic story, it has to be rushed because what are you going to talk about?
Yeah, and how many episodes are there? 12 or
10, I think.
Yeah. I'll definitely watch, because obviously everyone hates the end of Game of Thrones, but to be fair, there was like a good 50 hours of good shit.
And still,
to like the end.
Even
that's a lot for anything.
The end was still probably.
It was fine.
If it was 20 hours of content, I'd say the last 2 seasons there was probably 18, 19 hours of really good shit in there. It's just
a lot of it was So obviously, if it's based off stuff he's written and it's obviously planned out, then it's fine. It's
that's
a quick
the thing.
ending.
He finished this book. He wrote the whole thing, so it's just a complete thing.
I watched Garden of Words, which is directed by the guy who did Your Name.
Oh yeah,
it's like 45 minutes. Yeah. It's just a kid who makes shoes, and this woman who's meeting Shinjuku and go to the park in Shinjuku. And chat, and there's other stuff happens outside of that.
The kid makes shoes.
Well, he's a high school kid who just likes making shoes, and she's a lady who sits there, and they just meet up and chat. All this stuff happens. It's 45 minutes, but it's probably one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. Like, just do you know when it's that kind of drawing where it's obviously drawn? I can't work out these computers, like because there's a lot of rain and just nature, but everything in it is somewhere you've walked where you'll go. I know that building. I know that path. I know that park. Obviously, you must have walked around the fucking. You'll know every little bit of it. And it's 45 minutes. The story's a bit like, I wouldn't say controversial, but a bit like, ooh, like it's only like a
Did he start fucking?
No, but
oh, thank God for that.
But it's just like
there's obviously said this old woman, this kid.
No. The woman's like, I think she's like mid to late 20s, maybe.
Oh no, that makes it even more like this thing. I like the idea of them being like an old lady and a kid, and the only thing they've got in common is the fact that they like to sit on this bench and chat.
Yeah, it's a bit. Nothing really happens bad, but you're like, oh, this is a bit. I don't want to be like, I don't want to say like sexist isn't the word. If the roles were reversed, if the genders were reversed, you'd be a bit like, oh God, this is really bad.
It's not sexist. You can't be sexist if you'd say that if the roles were reversed.
Yeah. So, but as it is,
It just makes
it's
you feel
just
a little
sort
bit
of, it's quite harmless, but you're a bit like, ooh, this is a bit funny. But no, just incredibly beautiful. It's on Netflix. It's 45 minutes. And just as a visual thing, it's just like, oh, fucking hell. Also, I've really bizarrely started watching this children's program called Old Enough. Have you watched it on Netflix? Which is
old enough. Yeah, old enough. I thought you meant old enough.
The small Japanese
kids.
children have to go on their first job.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's been out for about 2 months. I think season 2's just come out.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
It's really cute, isn't it?
And the bit, obviously, it doesn't happen in all the episodes, but where it shows them now.
What do you
so
mean?
some of the episodes, it'll be like
filmed
in
a long time ago.
No, but some of them are filmed right up to like, I think one was 2018, 2019. Watched the other day. Oh, wow. So some of the old ones are from like 1991, and it will show them now.
So like,
it'll show the kid being an adult with their own kids. And one of them
would be like, and then I have to drop the fish on the floor.
But some of the lives aren't like you go, oh, this bit, some of it's sad, but some of them are in jobs, and it's like, oh, he's this guy, and they're still friends, they go to karaoke together. And then one of them was like a woman who was on the show. Then she's had a kid, and then her kid then does a thing.
Cool.
But it's just something really nice about it because all the Japanese. I'm terrible at Japanese, but because all the Japanese is mostly kids talking, like I can follow a lot more of it. So it's quite helpful to me because like, I kind of get a lot of what's going on.
Yes.
I can keep
up Japanese.
Yeah,
at a 5-year-old
barely. Like I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? But
Jesus, this kid's eloquent.
I know he's very eloquent, this kid. But I don't know. I didn't know about it. So I actually went, oh, let's watch this. I was like, this looks terrible. I was like, oh, this is the most wholesome, lovely,
it's really nice, isn't it?
thing ever. So I've been watching a lot of that.
I watched a few episodes. The whole thing that was a bit of a culture shock for my girlfriend was a bit more like, these kids are not safe.
So these kids are like 3.5.
Yeah,
but it's just like,
but like, the thing is, there's cameras all over the place, and also
there's so many cameras in those boxes with like
just
a suitcase with like a pipe where you can see the lenses coming through. What does the kid think? Because the whole time it's just all these random people.
I don't know. It's like Truman Show, though, is it? Like, I suppose you could just trick a kid.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's just so nice.
It's just nice.
And the way the House Husband's also out. I've not seen any of that.
That's so good.
Have you seen the new season of it?
Yeah, it's
I've not watched any of it.
Speaking of new stuff, actually, Junji Ito's World of fucking Horror that's just come out.
World of Butts.
It's rubbish.
The Japanese anime.
The horror thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I've only watched one episode, so I'm being.
Is it done?
It's
by different animation studios.
No idea.
Animation houses.
From watching the first one, do you know, like in Where the House Husband, where there isn't a huge amount of animation, but how it does it is just stylish and clever and like, because most of it's just like virtually everything. This is like similar, but just feels super cheap. Okay. It's not scary. It's just really disappointing.
Right.
I'll probably watch more just to see if they improve, but I was just like, if you've read Ian Junji Ito, usually there's like there's like an event and something happens and you turn the page and some horrible disfigured thing and you're like, oh, this is up. But this was just like, oh, this is rubbish. Like the music, just the tone, just rubbish.
So have you been scared by any anime before?
The only thing in anime that's ever made me feel sick was that bloody Chainsaw Man, where the girl he's making out with that girl, she throws up in his mouth and then he swallows it. And I've watched so many animes where people just get ripped to bits and just and for some reason if I picture it now, it makes me want to be sick. The vomit is like yellowy from the beer.
Okay, so it's less scary though.
It makes me feel nauseous. But yeah, no, that Junji Ito thing. It's all I say. So it was on the front page of Netflix. It's just so far very just disappointing. Really, really disappointing.
Power Rangers reboot, Joe. It's not a reboot. It's a celebration reunion.
Is it on?
It's on the 30th anniversary, so I think it's like sort of March time. It's got a lot of the old cast.
I'll watch it.
Very, very sadly, Green Ray. Yeah, it was Jason. Jason Oliver.
I kept saying it wrong.
We did say it wrong. I think I called him Jason Lee Oliver or something like that. But yeah, sadly that. But it sucks that he wasn't fucking there for that. I mean, it's just that would have been great if he was in it. Maybe he is in it and they're just going to surprise people. But they've got all the old cast.
Surprise!
No, they're not going to get like a
no,
but like it's been filmed a while ago. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe he might be in it, and because the Green Ranger is in it, so I'm thinking maybe he might come back and reprise it.
But they didn't keep it on
they didn't keep it on the trailers. But no, that's pretty cool. I saw that and I'm quite actually weirdly excited about that. I can't remember.
Mark, let's talk about Last of Us because we're 24 minutes in.
Okay, yeah, that's a good show.
Last of Us, we both played the games a million times.
I've not played it a million times.
The
first one maybe twice, second one once.
Okay, well, second one 5 times. I said the first one maybe 10 times. A lot of fucking times. So I'd sort of know it to the back of hand. And I think a lot of people know the game, so we're not going to say spoilers, but spoilers for the first 2 episodes of the series.
Yes.
But I feel like obviously if you've played the game, so many people have, you basically know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, I imagine that this has got a huge following from people who have no idea what the fucking game is.
Oh yeah. But I think
weirdly, though, everyone I know who's watched it has played the game.
Yeah.
Did Sasha enjoy it? She's played.
Yeah.
Did she play the game?
No, but she's watched me play. God, she's watched me play.
I feel like you can also have that, but I would like to show my mum and see what she thought about it.
Yeah,
and see if it's good, because I really fucking loved it.
It's
but
really,
I don't know if that's me going,
good.
Oh, it's the music, or oh, it's this.
The music's a big
it's
factor, and also I don't know. It's one of the things because I know pretty much exactly what's going to happen. I thought I wouldn't like it as much, but it's still because they tweak loads of little bits of it, like the openings in the past and then in Indonesia. Those things which are not in the game whatsoever.
What do you mean? The past? Yeah.
Yeah, those things are really cool. That whole opening with the lady.
You mean in the 60s as opposed to
in
the 2000s?
Sorry, in the 2000s.
I was like, I'm fairly sure we saw the.
Yeah, they were just good. They were just interesting, and
obviously they are going to have to thicken it out with things like that and stuff like that. But it makes sense because we've never really known what
they've
happened
kept
or
it
how
very
it
vague.
Happened.
Like in Last of Us 2, you go to Ground Zero in Boston or whatever, but that's it. That's not Ground Zero of the whole sort of thing. And now they're saying it's sort of more to do with, because you don't have the spores, because they don't want people to have gas masks on the whole time, so it's more to do with being bitten. I quite like the weird little things come out of the mouth.
I really like that. And
that
kiss
kiss
a lot more.
horrible.
And that was so sad as well. I don't know. It got pointed out. I was like, oh, you should have kissed her, sort of thing. And then her final kiss was with that, and it was kind of.
Also, I think if he kissed her, he might have caught it. I don't know. I think he probably need more of it than just a bit.
Oh, what? So he kissed her and then
there's one little
tentacle just went. Yeah, no, you might be right.
She should have held a grenade at the end and then dropped the grenade, not a lighter.
That's a much better shout.
There were so many grenades being chucked
around.
That
is a much better shout. Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you leave it down to a shitty Zippo lighter?
Also, I just have it on the ground, be like trying to rub, because obviously it'll still spark up a bit.
Oh yeah.
The sparkle light the thing.
No. Not if it was wet. I imagine if it was wet, it would be a different situation.
But it's wet with gasoline.
You'd be kind of need dryness, and then it's not wet from the gasoline. It's just vapor from the gasoline.
Yeah,
but
it was good. The clickers were really good.
Yeah,
because they're quite hard to put across.
I wanted the clickers to have bigger faces, bigger heads, like more like the ones that we saw. They weren't the best clickers that I'd seen. Like in the game, I know there's probably like 4 or 5 maybe different variations of the clickers. But I just thought it was a bit. I kind of wanted to see. They just looked a bit more like just like bobbly-headed alien. I don't know. I just wanted to see a bit more like difference and a bit less symmetry and a bit more just like beautifululness. Especially that first one. I know the first one they released and they showed in the trailer ages ago, and that first one.
Well, there's going to be plenty more, I think.
But I just kind of wanted to see because they did it side by side, and the other one, the original one, had a lot more colour in it, and this one was just a bit more yellow and black and blue.
Yeah, they're a bit because I know in 2 a lot of them are almost like. They go almost like pinky kind of because they're very corpsey. They're skinny, like because they mentioned in this actually that they don't live very long.
No,
some of them live for ages, but some of them were like, they live a couple of weeks and they starve or whatever. Like because it's never. I just thought they just live forever because the plants, and also they don't like the sun.
Yeah,
but I never really thought of.
Yeah, well, because they've only just managed to get up to the point where they can withstand the human body. So anything beyond that is too much.
Yeah, and I like the whole tendrils being like a. You know, not the internet, but you know what I mean, like communication thing, because that's a real thing that happens in nature.
Yeah, the mushrooms do that all throughout. It's really smart.
It's been.
If anyone wants to watch anything called watch Fantastic Fungi. And it's all about how fungi.
I've only watched David Attenborough stuff, but I know he did a whole thing where it's like a whole network and the plants. It's even treated.
And they know, and one plant will get rained on and go, "Oh, better put my white raincoat on." I was away. But they do similar things. It's not. But no,
it's been really good. Like 2 episodes in, I kind of wanted them all to be longer. But I listened to the official podcast. It's pretty good because after each episode, Neil Druckmann and Troy Baker, who's the voice of Joel in the thing, and the art director, or whatever. There's 3 of them that just talk about each episode. Here's how we did stuff. Because originally that first episode was 2 episodes.
Right.
Like they explain how they cut things and change things and just. But no, it's nice.
I really really enjoyed it, and I like the differences that they're doing. Like we said, because otherwise we'd just be like, oh, and then this, and then this. Like I was fucking waiting for that car to hit Joel and Ellie's. Not Joel and Ellie. Was waiting to hit Tommy's van.
Oh yeah, because they tricked you. Yeah.
So basically, there was a car pulls out, stops, and I was like, oh, and then a fucking elephant, and then a fucking aeroplane crashes instead. An elephant.
An elephant
crashes out the sky.
But that was quite good when it just had the planes following each other. It was just intense.
It was intense, but it was. Sorry.
It was cool, and just bits like in the game when you meet Tess, she's been beaten up already by Rob's guys, and now you're like, oh, she's that. But then I was like, oh, so they're going to go and find Rob, and they're going to chase him through the thing. And then it was like, oh no, he's already been shot in the face. Like,
it's a different thing.
It's just cool because it's a different way because they can have other stuff going on. Whereas usually in the game, obviously, you're with Joel the whole time.
We're still always going to get to that final moment in the crux of the game. Yeah. At the hospital, we're still going to always lead to that, but we might have a different way of.
I just want them to do what they keep doing what they're doing, but I want them to do the second game, continue the story, not fucking fold. Because a lot of people are a bit funny about the second. No, I really story.
I don't think they'll fold on it. I think if they can tell it from a point of view without annoying fucking gamers, then I think they're going to do. It's going to do even better. One thing that I do kind of want though, and I do want that kind of like. I don't know if I want it to be as clear cut as in you're playing with Ellie, you're playing with Abby, you're playing with Ellie, as in.
It would have to be.
I would quite like it to be mixing jiving in with each other. But then again, would it actually be really cool to just have a full 3-episode arc and a 3-episode arc, and then you mix it in a bit more?
See, just shit like a game where you hear little things about Abby, like who the fuck's Abby? Like, oh, she's done this, this, and this, and then shit, you're her doing. Yeah. There's loads of ways to do it, but I just hope they just don't go. Oh, actually, some people don't like that, so now I've decided.
Yeah, no, I don't think he would do.
Well, no, they seem pretty. What's he called, Neil Druckmann guy who wrote.
He's not.
He doesn't like Ben at all. He's just like, we make a fucking shitload of money. Like, we're very popular.
It's a fucking great story. If you don't know that, it's ridiculous. Have you played the PS5 the re-release?
So I got the 2-hour demo because I've got premium. On Thingy.
You don't get that if you've already owned Last of Us. You've got to rebuy it.
No.
Okay, but you own Last of Us.
So remastered.
Remastered.
Yeah, so Last was part 1. What is the remake on the PS5.
Oh, the PS4 originally, but now they've got the remake.
PS3 originally.
No, but then the remake.
Then the remaster.
So I own the remaster.
Yeah, I've got that. But the PS1, the part 1 is if you've got PlayStation Premium.
Okay.
Which I have. You get a 2-hour demo of part 1.
But you can get the full game if you want to.
If I want to, but it's still like £70.
Okay, so you don't get the upgrade. So it's not.
It's completely you get it. They've built it from scratch, yeah. But I played it for 2 hours.
They built it from scratch. Really?
So it looks better than 2. It's actually made for PS5 because obviously 2 wasn't made for PS5. So I got to the bit where you get to Bill's and you get in the car and you're about to push it, you get the battery, and then literally. It just went end of demo. So 2 hours so I didn't properly get to enjoy it because I was just fucking running as fast as I could go. But it's really good, especially like the face acting, like the face capture is really really fucking good. Like you can properly see the emotion and stuff. But no, it is really cool. But it's not. I suppose because between remastered and 2 it was like a huge graphical jump. Where this is just like it looks a bit better than 2, but 2 looked really good.
I think it is a huge graphical jump, but just not as perceptible to us.
It's stuff like. I was having a little bit of a fight and I was in some warehouse and someone was shooting like paint cans being like knocked off shelves and things. So a lot of the environment was more real. And just like plants and couches and when it's like £40, I'll just buy it straight away. But for £70, I'm like, I know this game so well and I can smash through it.
Trying to get a lot of money from.
Well, it was like £50 just before the series came out.
Oh, and then
it was on sale, then they put it back. Yeah. Well, no, it was always £70.
Oh, yeah.
It was on sale for like a week.
Probably for John, not John. It's probably for January sales and stuff like that.
But no, it's very good. I'm excited.
I'm buzzing for the next one.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing that I'm now excited for. Like, I'm like, I can't wait for the next episode. Like, even though I know where it's going, I'm still like, yes,
desperate for it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I will safely say that about is I'm not as desperate for Drag Race this season.
No, they cut it too quickly.
Yeah, they've cut it down well far, but also it's just not getting me this season. I don't know what it is.
There's
I like certain people about
it. At all.
Yeah, are you watching Untucked and stuff like that?
No.
Oh.
But that what's it called? The Snatch game where there's 2 of them. Ooh. I can't remember any. Like each person had like one line, and it was like
Snatch game was far too cut down. It was literally like some people had 6 responses, some people had literally nothing.
Yeah, I've not had time to get to know anyone in it.
No, I don't really. Yeah, but I feel like that's the case with this massive fucking 16 people cast anyway. It's like the biggest cast and yet the smallest amount of time. It makes no sense. Very annoying. Sort it out, Rue.
Yeah, it's all about Married at First Sight Australia, man. That's what me and Seth are watching every day. It's fucking. You want people fighting and being bitchy and having arguments?
Yeah.
It's the best fucking show.
I've seen parts of it, but I
so
don't want to watch that.
What's the photograph about? Anyway.
the photo?
That's the next episode we're about to watch.
Okay.
Anyway.
Photo. Wait, there was something else that we watched. That I watched. No, that's probably it. Fuck it. Doesn't matter.
We've got plenty. Right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
we'll
for
speak to you
watching.
soon. Goodbye.
I just realised that I do that weird hand thing every time. It's like kind of like a
Hello.
salute hand.